But boys and girls, this is gonna be a hot take. It has been about 24 hours since we learned about the upcoming new 5-star legendary gem called the Blood Floe. The information was leaked yesterday, and it has been on internet since then. Everyone talking about this gem being the next most OP gem that is gonna allow you to power creep once more. But after taking a good look at it, it seems like it is gonna be a S tier gem. For sure, this is gonna be S tier gem, but not as broken or OP as we thought in the first glance. Again, I am saying this right now. It is gonna be the S tier gem, one of the best 5-star gems out there, but not as broken as we thought yesterday, and I will talk about that in a sec. But first off, let's see what this gem will be doing from what we learned from the leaked information. Activate Blood Fury for 6 seconds on a critical hit with a 20-second cooldown. Right now, we do not have any information if we will able to extend the duration of this gem from 6 seconds to 10 seconds, 11 seconds in PvE using the beneficial effect duration increase from Vetus and Reforge. Primary gear, secondary gear, magic effects. We will need to wait and see if that works with the gem or not, but most likely, since it is a 5-star legendary gem, most likely Vitus and all sources of beneficial duration will be working with this gem. But again, that is my personal speculation at this point. We still need to wait from NetEase and Blizzard to announce this gem officially. Anyhow, during this period, your damage to enemies is increased by 20%, your critical hit damage is increased by 40%, and enemies bleed, dealing 10% damage per second for 3 seconds. Now, at rank 10, 20% is a pretty decent damage increase. And as for the critical hit damage, it really depends how much critical damage you have right now on your stats or on your character, because there is a cap of 100% critical hit damage. And let's say you have a 70% critical hit damage right now on your character, then this 40% is gonna cap out at 100%, and you will not able to utilize this gem at the fullest. But the good thing is, a lot of people out there are not even close to 100%. They are not even close to 60% right now. So I think 90% or even more will able to utilize this gem at the fullest. And another really good thing on this gem is, if you have quite a lot of potency and you are using Feasting Baron to extend the harmful duration, then you will most likely will able to extend the duration of the bleed on the enemies as well from 3 seconds all the way to 5 seconds. That is going to be pretty decent, especially in PvP and PvE, able to extend the duration of the bleed. And speaking of the bleed, one of my sources told me the upcoming class, the Druid, will have some skills on the bear form and maybe the wolf form, which will do some claw attacks, and it will put some bleeding on the enemies as well. I'm not sure how true that is gonna be, but one of my sources did told me that there is gonna be some claw attacks from Druid that will be doing some bleeding, and it makes sense why we are getting Blood Floe gem that will also somewhat add to the Druid class, giving the Druid class some more bleeding, and maybe Druid will able to get some benefit when the enemies will be bleeding. We have to wait and see. But anyhow, each nearby enemy with the bleeding increase your critical hit chance by 4% up to a maximum of 16%. Now the 16% isn't gonna be that attractive because we already have quite a lot of critical hit chance right now on our character, and getting more is just there's gonna be quite a lot of diminishing return, and I will try and explain now why I think this gem isn't gonna be that broken. So if we go back in the game, I will try and show you guys the amount of critical chance I have right now on me. It is 32% critical hit chance. And from the stance, we can see upon activation, critical hit chance for the skills is increased by 20% for 3 seconds after the internal duration, and the increase is reduced to 10 seconds. Now, I'm not sure at the moment that if that is working or stacking up with the 32% critical hit chance I have. So I'm not sure about that. But let's say I have 32% critical hit chance right now, and this critical hit chance isn't working for the skills. If I go ahead the dummy here, you guys will see I still get quite a lot more critical hit chance here, thanks to having only one gem that gave me critical hit chance, and that is rolling consequence. And so you can see my critical hit chance is already quite high at the moment. Almost 68% of my hits are critical, and if I try and get more, there's gonna be a huge you can say diminishing return. But if we go take a look at the critical hit damage, my critical hit damage isn't the best right now, so I will actually able to take the benefit of having additional 40% critical hit damage increase from the blood flow gem, and on the top of that it will be giving me 20% damage increase at rank 10. So definitely a really strong gem. But when it will come to PvP, a hot take here, this 20% damage is going to be somewhat at 7.5% after the strive is done to the gem. For PvP, this 40% critical hit damage is going to be somewhat at 14% or 15%, and same for the critical hit chance, it is going to be at 4.5%. But good thing is stacking up everything together does make a better combination, and so I would say this gem is going to be right beside the rolling consequence, Colossus engine, like in that category. In my opinion, this is going to be one of the best gems, and this gem is going to be even better for whales, and there is a reason for that. If we go back in the game, there is a reason that this gem is going to be even better for whales, and that is because if we go take a look at the armor penetration, the more armor penetration you have, the more critical hit damage bonus you get. And we know that whales have quite a lot of armor penetration. This isn't my max. And if we go take a look at my PvP setup, that is where I get about 6,400 armor penetration, and my critical hit damage bonus is now 56%. So whales who have quite a lot of armor penetration will able to get the benefit from this gem even more. And I feel like they are trying to somewhat target whales so they get this gem. And honestly, at this point, I'm a big fan of Dot. So if that gem somewhat comes out to be true, I will be getting it. But again, like I said, it isn't gonna be as broken as we thought in the first glance. It is definitely S tier gem, one of the best gems out there, and for sure it is gonna increase the power creep. But they are like giving you 1-2 steps at a time and trying to make some of the older gems obsolete. And this is to somewhat, I think, fight people who buy and sell account, because we know there are some old whale accounts been sold and they are not getting updated with newer gems. And with time, the newer players who are spending even with less resonance, they are gonna outperform those accounts with more resonance, because they are not keeping up with some of the newer gems. At least that is what I'm hearing from the whale community. But anyhow, I'm signing off now. Let me know in the comment section down below what are your thoughts, and I'll see you on the next one. Later, guys.